Hello, my name is Katie Galt, and I am the Assessment Coordinator at Sanger Unified School District, which is a medium district in Central California. This video is about communicating about accessibility resources. With the accessibility resources, we over-communicate, I think, on this, or really, you can't over-communicate on this because everyone needs to be a part of this discussion. Um, Too often, it is something that on the back end is just thought of like accommodations and for our special education students or students on with a 504 plan, but we really try at the beginning of the year to embed within our teacher PD, our teacher professional development, an overview again of universal tools, designated supports, and accommodations. I think sometimes there is the stigma that, oh, we don't want to assign them a designated support. We found that especially within our secondary, almost as if they were putting an asterisk on a score. And we talked through, especially with our professional development and all of our instruction within Universal Design for Learning, that is not the case at all, that we are trying to make sure that each student has what they need to really be successful and have the test be a measure of what the test is actually measuring. So when it comes to some of our accessibility resources, we start that within our teacher training early on. For our site testing coordinators. And then also I have met at some of our professional learning communities or staff meetings, our RSP, our resource specialist teachers, our special education teachers meet once a month-ish, and I schedule a time to go in and talk with them as well to make sure that we're all on the same page and making sure that everyone is aware of these accessibility resources. We remind them about the accessibility resource matrix. My favorite example to bring up is a calculator because it can be a universal tool. When it comes to like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, 11th grade math, it is sometimes embedded within there, but it can also be a designated support, non-embedded, to be used on science. And then it can be an accommodation, again, non-embedded for 6th, 8th. So the thing itself is never what defines what level of accessibility resource it is. And we have a lot of conversations around that it is not a one size fits all, that you can't just say like, oh, everyone gets a calculator. A lot of times they expect it to then be an embedded resource. And it's like, no, let's go back and look at the matrix and see. So we communicate about all of that at different levels with our teachers, our site coordinators, and then with our special education staff, be it special education teachers that work within the population of special day class, as well as our resource specialist teachers. After all of that, the communication in terms of who is loading it into TOMS, that all goes through our site testing coordinators with the teacher teams, especially when it comes to designated supports, and the RSP teacher or SDC teacher, making sure that case managers know and have communicated with site coordinators. They will sometimes go in and check, but for our district, it is the site coordinators that are actually inputting the accessibility resources into TOMS and assigning them to the different students. And then I will go through, as well as members of my team, just to kind of take another look. And then as testing happens, any communication about, oh, I thought I turned on this, but it's not showing up. A lot of times it's kind of a misconception about whatever the resource itself was. So we just kind of clear that up as it happens. But the 2 to 3 weeks prior to testing, we are going through almost student by student in some cases to make sure that the accessibility resources are where they're supposed to be. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this information timely and useful.